Woo! Time for a nice little rant to close the day off as I get ready for ballet. You guys know why I put a lot of mansplaining fuckboys on my wall of shame, which is my IG story, because that's how I cope with these motherfuckers instead of carrying on conversations with them because they're literally not worth my time. But I really just want to get into why, besides just this being my coping mechanism. But and it's coming out a lot because of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It always has to do with it usually has to do with the Marvel and all of this shit. It's always Marvel. Now a lot of you guys know that I read hella Marvel comics growing up, and so I have a lot of Marvel comics background. And I do, but when I talk about things, I'm mostly talking about the MCU because that is my fucking audience, and that is the source material that most people are familiar with. And so a whole bunch of people, they're usually men, feel the need to jump into my comments. And I talked about the actually commenters, and they'd be like, well, if you read the comics, you would fucking know this, this, and this. Particularly, I did a skit about how I had Rhodey yelling at Sam after this first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, being like, really, motherfucker, you could be the first black Captain America, but nah, you're just like, nah, I'm good. A whole bunch of fucking fuckboy fanboys. Like, actually, in the comics, Isaiah Bradley was nigga, do you think I don't fucking know that? Like I said, the people that felt the need to tell me that Steve's middle name was Grant when I started making it Steven Jamal Rogers. And bitch, you don't think I know that his middle name is Grant? You think I don't know that Anthony's middle name is Edward? Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. And I say this because I don't see this happening to men very often. I'm sure it happens sometimes. But in general, that is not the language that is in those comments when they want to engage about this sort of stuff. In general, some of the language will be like, yeah, dude, but if you remember in the comics, I'm sure you know that in the comics, it's assuming that the man knows what he's talking about. What bothers me is the assumption, the underlying assumption behind these fuck boys that I don't know what I'm talking about because I am a woman. You know what I mean? That underlying thing. And women, I feel like we have to fucking prove ourselves for everything. And I'm not fucking doing it, by the way. You're never gonna catch me out here trying to prove to these motherfuckers how much I know, because that's just not me anymore. And at the root, I'm a fucking Leo. At the root, I want everybody to know how smart I am, what I know, and all of this. But the reality is that because I'm a woman, if there was such a thing as a degree or a master's in Marvel studies, I would have to have it before any man would listen to what I have to fucking say. It's one of the reasons why when I talk about politics, I cite my political science degree, because as a black woman, I have to show that I have credentials, whereas men, specifically, particularly white men, can just talk about things and people can consider them an expert just because they sound confident. I cannot do the same thing. And I think that's what bothers me the most. That's what bothers me the most, is that underlying assumption that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm a woman, maybe because I look a certain way, I don't know, but I fucking hate it. And that is why they go on my wall of shame so fucking often, because I know a lot of women go through this. I know a lot of women go through this all the time. That underlying assumption that, oh, poor baby, sweet honey baby child, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a little girl. You're just a little girl. You're just maybe a little cute little girl. You don't know what you're talking about, bitch. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm sick and tired. And I'm not going to tell them to stop assuming, because they're fuckboys. They're pieces of shit. They're going to keep on carrying on these fucking traits. But maybe if I put them up on the wall, and maybe if I call this behavior out, maybe people will stop doing it. And maybe people don't know that they're doing it, but it happens way too often. And like I said, I bring this up because I know a lot of women, especially black women, go through this shit. Even last year, when I made a whole video series calling out my abuser in the Air Force, I started out by saying, hey, my name is Nikki Marina, but I was Nikki Robinson. I was a cadet in the Air Force, in the United States Air Force Academy. And because I knew that there would be fucking people out there being like, she was never a real cadet there. She was never there. You know what I fucking did, guys? I went and got my diploma. I got the fucking scroll, everything that I got from the Air Force Academy. I got my class ring and I showed it to the fucking camera so that motherfuckers would not have any room to argue about me and my credentials and where I came from and what I got. I'm like, here's my degree in political science. So all y'all motherfuckers can shut the fuck up so I can get ahead of it. It's just so exhausting. You know what I mean? It's so exhausting. And you can't just enjoy something like a fandom. You can't just enjoy something like anime or Marvel or Star Wars when you're a woman. Like, you always got to be proving it. Always got to be proven. But actually, he's not the first Black Captain America. Read a comic book. The most condescending tones to that shit, too. Read a comic book. I'm like, nigga, I've read the comic books, bitch. Are you kidding me? And you even knowing damn fucking well that we ain't even talking about the comics. We are talking about the MCU, you dumb, dense motherfucker. You know that. You just want an excuse to make yourself feel superior to a woman and mansplain that shit to me. And I'm just not here for it. And I'll literally only answer them if I have a funny response, just so that it can be an accessory to when I screenshot it and put it up on my Instagram story for the world to see their fucking stupidity. It's so goddamn annoying, that assumption. And it's not going to change, right? It's not going to change anytime soon, because that is the nature of the niche. But I'm not going to stop talking about it. That's the thing about me. I'm loud. I've been suppressed for so long that now I just say whatever the fuck is on my mind. And so now I'm going to talk that. So now I talk about these things. And so maybe if they get annoyed, maybe if these guys get annoyed of hearing women like me talk about this so much, maybe they'll stop. Maybe they will, because honestly, I think a lot of them get a hard on from doing this shit. But like I said, they don't really deserve my direct response. That's why they go on my wall of shame. But I'm making this rant because I got to get it out, first of all, emotionally. I got to get these emotions out because they bother me. And because I know other bitches out there go through the same thing, whether it be at your job, whether it be with anime, Marvel, whatever fandom you happen to be a part of, whether it's just engaging in conversation about something and nobody will listen to you unless you prove that you're some sort of fucking expert at it, while men in general can just talk confidently about shit and people will kowtow and bow down to these motherfuckers like, wow, he's so fucking smart. He's so fucking intelligent. But you are not allowed to be intelligent without the right credentials to back it up. You know, you're not allowed to exist in this space unless I present to you my fucking, like I said, if there was such thing as a master's in Marvel studies, I would have to have it in order to exist in that space peacefully without anybody questioning my fucking intelligence. It's so fucking annoying. It is so annoying. And so, yeah, so I put them on my wall of shame and I let it go, you know. And like I said, I told you guys, I'm tired of pretending that things don't get to me. They do. They do, because I'm human. I'm a woman. As a woman, you go through certain universal experiences that weigh on you and they wear you down. It makes you fucking tired. And as a Black woman, holy shit, even more so. And so I'm sharing these because I know that there's a lot of bitches out there in solidarity feeling the same shit too. I want to let you guys know that you are not fucking alone. And one of the reasons why I put these bozos up on my Instagram story is to show you that I go through it too and that you are not alone in the struggle. And I am here bopping these motherfuckers like gophers on the fucking what's that goddamn game where you bop the shits on the head and they go up and down? All of this talk and I can't think of that goddamn game. But I just want to let you know that I'm going through it too, and it is so annoying. I see you. I'm dealing with it all the time. And just to any motherfucker, any guy out there that even cares, like, just stop that shit. Like, nobody cares how much you know, bro. Especially when I'm a comedian in my job, my whole thing is just making people laugh. And you gotta come in with your facts. Nigga, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you want to spout facts, start your own channel. Start your own platform. See how many people want to listen to that shit. But, or do what you want. Be a little person. Be like a small person. You're a very small person if you make time out of your day to do that. Very, very small. Anyway, Rant over. I'm gonna go to ballet class. Fuck this shit.